Hi, my name is Nicole Scott from Mobile Geeks, and today I'm going to be reviewing the ASUS Vivobook S400, a 14-inch touchscreen Ultrabook. It's the larger of the two Vivobook models, the other being the Vivobook S200 or X202, which is 11.6 inches, and I've actually recently reviewed this unit. The S400 features a 14-inch display with a resolution of 1366 by 768. Under the hood, it has a 500GB regular hard drive and a 24GB SSD, which ensures the unit is going to boot in just 2 seconds. It has options for Core i3 all the way up to Core i7, with an average of 4GB of RAM that are being offered. We're going to be taking a look at the Core i5 with 4GB of RAM. It weighs in at 1.8 kilos and is just 21 millimeters thick. This is pretty impressive since the Ultrabook, does include a touch display, which generally adds weight and thickness to devices. As far as ports go, on the left-hand side, we have an SD card reader, a pair of USB 2.0 ports, one combination microphone and headphone jack, and a Kensington lock. On the right-hand side, we have a USB 3.0 port, full-size HDMI, VGA, Ethernet, and then the power jack. So what didn't we like about the Vivobook S400? Well, the display resolution on this device should be HD, and it's not. It's 1366 by 768, and since it's 14 inches, we should be seeing HD resolution. The TFT LCD backlit display is also very dim at 147 lux, which is quite low when you compare it to the category standard of 236. This is likely the Vivobook's biggest drawback. Displays are getting more and more vibrant and high resolution, so an average panel with an average resolution just isn't going to cut it. Also, when using the touchscreen, the unit does wobble a little bit, but it's not too bad, and we never felt like it was going to tip over. Now, what about the keyboard? I would have liked to have seen a backlit keyboard. Keys themselves sport rounded corners and are well spaced, but the keyboard does flex a little more than I'd like, and it took me a while to get used to typing on it. It definitely wasn't love at first type. The 3-cell battery lasted us 5 hours, which isn't great, but at 14 inches, you should be only looking to do the occasional traveling with this device since it's on the larger side anyways. So what did we love? What was surprising about the S400 was just how quiet and cool it ran. The processor is generally clocked at just 800 MHz and bumped up to the maximum of 1.8 when demanding processes were launched. This enabled the chassis to remain cool and the onboard fan to run almost at idle. The result is a comfortable palm rest and a pleasant experience when using the Ultrabook on your lap. One would think that ASUS would skimp on the touchpad given that the Vivobook has a touchscreen, but fortunately this isn't the case. The ample touchpad is wide with a very nice smooth surface, and it responded well to our multi-touch gestures. We would say that it's on par with the ones you'll find with the ASUS Premium ZenBooks. If you don't like using gestures on a touchpad, the touchscreen does not disappoint and works like a charm. The movements of the Metro Start menu were like butter, and the apps opened almost instantly when the icons were touched. Audio is actually pretty good as well, especially when it's just 21 millimeters thick. We have ASUS's Sonic Master, and there are 2 speakers under the beast's belly, one on either side of the unit. It provides you with a decent level of bass and rich audio, but you should remember that this is an Ultrabook speaker, so there really isn't that much bass since there isn't a subwoofer. The ASUS Vivobook S400 represents pretty solid value for students and mainstream users who've been waiting to pick up a Windows 8 touch device. This is one of the thinnest and lightest 14-inch Ultrabooks around that sports a touchscreen, and at 1.8 kilos, you can carry it around fairly easily. But if you're going to be carrying around quite a bit, you may want to consider something on the slightly smaller side, say a 13.3 inch or an 11.6 inch. While the 5 hours of battery life isn't terrible, it's not great, and the keyboard is a little bouncy. If you are a serious gamer, I might keep looking, but if you're just into casual games, anything that you're going to find in the Microsoft Windows Store should run no problem. Plus, you have the touchscreen so you can play lots of tablet games. The S400 isn't a perfect device, but if you're seeking a slightly cheaper Ultrabook with a touchscreen, this may be a good option. ASUS has done a very good job of packing in quality and strong specifications into a budget package. So if you're thinking about picking one up, we do have a link in the description below to Amazon. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel right over here. I'm your host, Nicole Scott from Mobile Geeks.